shooter himself had...
Hi, so what I wanted to go over was just to give you the update from the church mass shooting, and also to break down discerning the differences between something that, in my opinion, the Vegas episode and shooting, which seemed very controlled in a large degree, to what happened in Texas, which seems very much more organic. And this is my opinion. And I'm just going to go ahead and run this latest update from last night, Fox.
3 gunshot wounds to his body, including one to his head, which the medical examiner says was self-inflicted. So the shooter killed himself after his deadly rampage here at this rural Texas church. We've also learned that the shooter recently purchased 4 guns. Authorities say all the sales were legal. There was no information in databases that...
Important to note, because for everyone who is wanting stricter gun laws, you know, we need to do something about the laws and regulations and that we already have. Those need to be effective. Tacking on more is not going to assist law-abiding citizens. They're not. Things do probably need to be tweaked and worked on, but it's not a matter of adding more laws. It is a matter of fixing the problems that occur with the ones that we already have.
Would have flagged the shooter, and that aligns with 2 pieces of information we learned today. First, Academy Sporting Goods in San Antonio, Texas released a statement saying it sold 2 guns to the shooter, one in 2016 and one in 2017, and that the shooter passed the National Criminal Background Check, and that sporting goods store is now cooperating.
See, now that is flawed. We have things in place, so it's which, I think we have reached our Goldilocks zone already as far as gun control versus the Wild Wild West. It's the problem is the rules and regulations that we have, they're either not adhered to or there's human error involved. And fine, work on those. Work on those. I don't think that anybody who is a law-abiding citizen carrying a weapon is going to really say a whole lot about fixing the laws that we have that are broken without adding new ones. But then again, it's just like anything else. You give an inch and they want to, 554 miles.
With law enforcement. Also, the U.S. Air Force did not submit the shooter's criminal records to the FBI as required by Pentagon law. This shooter was discharged from the Air Force for bad behavior for beating his wife and his stepson, intentionally cracking his stepson's skull. He was court-martialed and in prison. So had the Air Force turned that information over to the FBI, the shooter might not have been able to pass the background checks to purchase guns recently. The Air Force has launched a review into how the service handles the shooter's criminal records. And tonight, at this hour, there are still 15 people in the hospital with wounds related to yesterday's shooting. 5 of them are minors. Some are still in critical condition. Tucker, back to you.
It is an awful story. So now let's listen to the differences, I think, which come up now regarding where you can compare and contrast Vegas, yes, to this. Tucker's on it.
Secret Service agent Dan Bongino, who joins us live. So Dan, first to the Texas shooting. Apparently the Air Force did not, as you just heard Matt Finn report, enter this information about this man's court-martial and conviction and the year he spent in the brig into the criminal database that gun purchasers are run through. If they had put that information in there, would he have been prohibited from buying a gun?
Yeah, he would have been prohibited from buying a gun, Tucker, and this is why the radical left can't possibly win this gun control debate. I mean, Tucker, think about the argument they're making to us, right? The argument they're making to us is, oh, don't worry, government can protect you. Listen, I love our military. God bless every man and woman that serves. But this was clearly a bureaucratic error that cost people their lives by
I would just like to say that the same thing that fucks everyone over, which are human errors, bureaucratic human errors, are going to be the same things ultimately that help us, because the people that are trying to fuck everyone over, they're subject to the same thing of making human error.
He would have been stopped from buying a gun, and he wasn't. And look what happened.
Hence why Hillary's not president.
Including in the city of Chicago, where straw purchases are almost never prosecuted, even as they complain that they're a source of the problem, which they certainly are. Why do we know so much, and thank heaven we do, about this atrocity and still so little about the one that happened in Las Vegas more than a month ago?
Well, this tragedy here, this fits the models we have from my experience in the Secret Service of targeted violence, where you've seen indicators in the past. We're seeing, you and
I like how they say certain things on Fox that really, if you read between the lines, the key words where he throws out Secret Service and then he just continues talking, they will not and probably cannot come out and blatantly say certain things. And yes, Fox News is mainstream media news. You have to get it where you can, people.
I've talked about the Vegas shooting on multiple appearances here, and we said it doesn't make any sense because where are all the witnesses? Where are all the people coming out saying, I saw something on Facebook that was strange. He said something at the local deli that was unusual. Where are they? The answer.
For the record, I just love this face. It's priceless. Okay, that's all.
There's nowhere. Nobody's found them yet, or they're there and we just don't know about them. But in this case, we're seeing a litany of people come out and say, there were odd Facebook posts. There's obviously a pattern of violent behavior. And as I've said repeatedly, when you look at models of targeted violence, Tucker, there's always a trail. Always a trail. It's very rare, like in the Vegas shooting, where there's almost nothing there and it's a vacuum.
So you don't think the investigation is different, but the crime is different? The perpetrator's different?
Yeah, I mean, this guy seems to fit the pattern of people who go out there and...
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think the answer is it's all different.
Targeted violence, assassinations, school shootings, homicidal maniacs like this who decide to go into church. And we don't know the motive yet, but it appears there's some connection there. It appears that his desire, to take out revenge or whatever it may have been on a family member or an in-law, he just uses violence as a way to, show his power. And that's what he did. He took out 20-plus innocent people in his rampage there. But that fits the models we've seen in the past.
Yes. What are the lessons for the rest of us of this?
Tucker, it pains me to say this, but churches are inherently vulnerable places. You have the right to protect yourself. There are wolves out there. There's a big conflict of visions, if I can steal a line from Thomas Sowell here. The left seems...
This is for the dreamers.
I'm not even going to go there. I like how the YouTube puts in certain ads in locations that seem very strategic. I'm going to stop. I'm going to pause this too, because what I have is a daily caller that I want to skip to as well. I don't know if I want to make that a different video or add that to this one. It's kind of a different topic, but not really, because all this information coming at us at once. I don't know. From that segment, I guess what I'd like to emphasize is just we don't need more gun laws. We have them. We need to correct the human error with them. And second is that we actually do have the ability to make assessments with all the information that's given to us. Even though it seems overwhelming, we can make assessments and look and see the differences between what happened in Las Vegas and what happened in Texas. And it's only when you start looking, and I'm not saying create the differences necessarily, because your imagination can become overrun by so many hypotheticals that you are just lost. But you have to be able to look at them and do a compare and contrast. You do. You have to, because not every situation out there is going to be a false flag, but not every situation out there is going to be authentic. And I think that if we want to know what's going on in our world, and not be manipulated by it, we do have to make these assessments. And so that's all I'm going to say about that. And I think I will end that here. This video's long enough. I hope everybody has a great day. Bye.